I'm back. Rhodes rants on Bumblebee. If you like this stream, like and subscribe. Join the Rhodes Squadron. I will be live provided that YouTube sends out a notification on it. Notifications are messed up on some live streams. They've been messed up on mine for a week. And we've got some exciting Transformers news today. So, we will see. We will see if YouTube sends out a notification. Ah, there it is. Awesome. There it is. Going to wait a couple of minutes, see who shows up. Not the greatest time of the day to do live stream, but all right. So, I'll make this in video format in case nobody shows up. It's kind of early in the day, so I get that. But I want to give my thoughts. I did see Bumblebee, and I did enjoy it a great deal. So I wanted to talk about that and talk about the fact that they have announced a sequel to Bumblebee. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I want to also touch on Bumblebee's box office. I have paid a lot of attention to this because I don't care about the Transformers property as much as Star Wars, but I do care about it a great deal. Transformers is near and dear to my heart. Hello, Turl. Hello, John Matrix. He said, I thought this was a video and not a stream. I am live. And you let me know if you can see and hear me. Which I bet you can, but we will find out. I see that you are live. Okay. Yes, good. Excellent. Thank you guys for showing up. It's kind of a bad time of the day to do a live stream, but some days, if I can go live, I'd rather go live as opposed to edit a video down. I know that sounds terrible, but some days you're just like, man, I don't want to edit another video today. So let's talk about Bumblebee. I know for a fact John Matrix has seen Bumblebee. And John, if you'll put in the comments kind of how you feel about Bumblebee. First of all, I will tell you, this was probably my second favorite Transformers movie that they have made. And I will say that it's possible over time this will become my favorite Transformers movie. It was set in the 80s, and I absolutely loved that. It had a true 80s movie feel, something you would get out of Goonies or, The Breakfast Club or any of those 80s movies that The Karate Kid, I felt a lot in this movie. Particularly, there's a high dive scene that they have in this movie where Haley Stansfield, who plays Charlie, is kind of being pressured to jump off this cliff. And this is going to have some minor spoilers in it. And it had sort of a Karate Kid feel. When Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso were on the sand on the beach, and they get into sort of this, skirmish slash, I don't want to call it a bullying scenario because Daniel LaRusso got in Johnny Lawrence's face, if you get right down to it. But it had a extreme 80s feel to it, and I loved that. What I look for in a property like this is going to be, how much does this make me feel like a kid again? Okay. And it made me feel, it made me have those feelings of when I would watch a movie as a kid, a child, and I got those feelings from this movie. This movie has got a ton of heart. John Matrix says, Bumblebee, best Transformers movie since the first one. Thank God, because the last two were unwatchable. I agree with that. The last two were terrible. Dark Side of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen were okay. And the first Transformers movie with Shia LaBeouf, or LaBeouf, whatever his name is, he's turned into a total whack job now. The first one was really good. It had some heart. This Bumblebee movie had a ton of heart. It was the character interaction between Bumblebee and between Charlie was just fantastic. The director, Travis Knight, set up back and forth chemistry between Bumblebee and Charlie that was just, it felt natural. Even though she's talking to a robot that's probably 20 foot tall, it didn't come across as weird or strange or anything like that. Fantastic chemistry. And they made you feel empathy for Bumblebee, sympathy. You were rooting for Bumblebee. Bumblebee's personality was extremely likable. And the Transformers, the look of these Transformers was spot on to the 80s Transformers that we grew up with. Exactly alike. Soundwave was exactly like we remember him. Starscream, I mean, it was just Optimus Prime, right on point. And those scenes don't dominate this movie. And I was kind of concerned because I was like, uh-oh, I don't think we're getting a lot of that. I think it's going to be like this much. It was just the right amount to let you sort of set up into the movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I love B, Toro says. Toro, you've got to see this movie. If you like Transformers at all, it is so good. It is, I mean, Rob, everything Star Wars in the house. I'm back. He's back. I'm here and you're there. Rob. I love it. Everybody's getting their own like little catchphrases and everything. It's pretty wild. Laugh out loud. Rob, we're just talking about I saw Bumblebee and they announced today that there is going to be a Bumblebee 2. And so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm back, still at work. What did I miss? John, we were just talking about how much heart this movie had and how the interaction between Charlie and Bumblebee had no awkwardness to it whatsoever. It flowed very well. The back and forth between Charlie and Bumblebee is fantastic. And I'm going to tell you the one thing Lucasfilm could learn a lot from Travis Knight and this Bumblebee movie and from the Karate Kid series that YouTube put out. It is so true to the fandom and sort of what we were hoping for all these years from a Transformers movie. Also, the box office on this movie, and this is what got Bumblebee 2 greenlit, it's at 420 million worldwide, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's off of a $135 million budget. So that's pretty good. And it has not opened in Japan yet, which does massive Transformers business. So the sequel got announced off the back of the international box office. And what I will tell you is, once this thing hits video in the States or digital, there will be people show up in droves to see a sequel to this movie. They did this movie no favors opening it versus Aquaman. None. I mean, if they would have opened this movie in like maybe August, but something out of the direct path of another blockbuster, I think this movie does like $600-700 million. I think it would have done 80 or 100 million more just in the U.S. John Matrix is joining us via his job, which that's a pretty good job to have if he can get on a YouTube live stream and not get fired. Also, the fight scenes in Bumblebee was what you have always wanted to see from a Transformers movie. We know the Michael Bay fight scenes were almost a jumbled mess. Like you would watch these fight scenes of these Transformers and everything was sort of blurred and it was just out of control. Well, that is not the way they do these fight scenes in this movie. The fight scenes of the Transformers are very watchable. You can interpret what is going on fantastically in the fight scenes. It's almost like watching two humans fight, only in robot form, okay? And so much better than the Michael Bay action sequences. It is a toned-down Transformers movie. It is my understanding, and let's see what we... Rob says, I am at work too. That's what I hated about Bay's Transformers movie. You can't make out any action. John, you're right. It drove me nuts. I really enjoyed the first Michael Bay Transformers. The following two sequels were okay. The last two were almost unwatchable. I cannot imagine a movie being more true to the product than this Bumblebee movie was. As a lifelong Transformers fan and caring about this property, I wanted this movie to do well, badly, because I could tell from the trailer. I was like, this is going to be the Transformers movie I have waited my entire life for. And it is so good. It is. I mean, I will. If we flash forward 10 years, I bet you I've seen this movie 50 times by then. Um, the touch from Stan Bush plays in this movie, and the soundtrack is so good. It is all 80s classics. And I mean, if you're a child of the 80s, it's like it's just a rush of memories and flashbacks for you throughout this whole movie. In fact, I'll tell you, my favorite part of the movie was when Steve Winwood's Higher Love was playing, and B was doing something and Charlie was doing something. But it was a fantastic. When I say this movie's got heart, that song playing, which was one of my favorite 80s songs, just, I mean, it was just like, wow, this is awesome. Toro says, I love the 80s Transformers. I still watch the old cartoons. Toro, if you have not seen this movie, it is worth every penny to either go to the, to go to the theater and see. It is an absolute. And you'll probably want to own it. I mean, Jeremy Johns has that, what is it? Buy it on Blu-ray or whatever as part of his, this is a purchase. No questions asked. It's a purchase and watch one of those watch every 6 months kind of movies. The only real weak point of this movie for me was John Cena. And I like John Cena. Okay, I guess. For clarification, there was about a 20-year span where you could not find a bigger wrestling fan than me. But I've been out of it for about 8 or 10 years, ever since The Rock and Stone Cold basically quit, is when I sort of like got out of it. And Shawn Michaels. If they would have put a different good character actor into John Cena's part, it would have just made this movie that much better. It's not that Cena is terrible. He's not terrible. Rob, he's not terrible. He's okay. And it's a shame that he is just okay in a movie that's this good. Now, the humor parts, he was kind of okay in. I mean, he was good in. But it was when he tried to get real serious that it was like, oh, stop it. I mean, just stop. Because I'm thinking, you can't see me and all this crap. I mean, if you know John Cena's persona in the wrestling ring, it kind of hurts how you watch him in this movie. I would have loved to have seen any good character actor be in this movie besides John Cena. So, now that we've talked about that, Cinema Blend came out today and says a Bumblebee sequel is reportedly in development after international success. And it does say that Travis Knight wants to come back and direct it, and that it's very possible that they may combine Bumblebee and Optimus Prime into the sequel together. Okay, so it will be like a tandem. Which is probably what I would like to see. I I think now we've had Bumblebee's on Earth backstory. It's time to get Prime involved and have him. We need his arrival backstory. Okay? And I saw where they're not sure if this is going to reboot the franchise or if it's going to tie into Michael Bay. As of right now, it would still tie into Michael Bay's movies if they wanted to do that. But there's also talk that if the next one does real well, then they'll just sort of wipe the slate clean, and this will be the new Transformers canon. I kind of wish they would do that anyway, personally. I have to go. Sorry. Love the stream chat. Take care later. Thanks, Toro, for showing up. I appreciate it. I would assume Rob and John, y'all are subscribed to Toro's channel. If you're not, please go subscribe to Toro's channel. I'm pretty sure Rob is, for sure. Yes, I'm subbed. Awesome. And like I said, I know this is not a great time of the day to do a stream, but I wanted to talk about Bumblebee and do a review on it and talk about the fact that they've greenlit Bumblebee 2. And I did not want to edit down a video today. I'm dragging, guys. Work has been tough lately. I spent like 12 years working in an office, and for the last 8 years I've been doing labor. I own a labor business, and I don't know that even after 8 years that I'm truly used to it. I mean, I feel beat down every day. So, let's talk Star Wars. Now we got those pesky Transformers out of the way. It looks like the trailer is not coming at Super Bowl. I saw that this morning. And I'll probably do a video on it maybe tomorrow. But because Lucasfilm had not submitted the actual trailer in, Pepsi has stepped up. And there's speculation that Pepsi may have bought those spots out that Lucasfilm had. I don't know if Lucasfilm sold them the spots or what. I think that's a huge miss. I think it's almost looking like they are scared to release anything related to Star Wars right now. Live action Star Wars. It's like, we don't want to show you anything. I think I had something. A full trailer would cost like $16 million. That's way too. I think it would be. Yeah, a teaser trailer. It would be a 30-second teaser trailer. And you're right. Although, there were a lot of fireworks about the title coming today. The Last Jedi title was released on January 23rd last year. Hold on a sec, guys. I gotta plug my laptop in. So there was a lot of speculation that we might have gotten a title today, and then it would just be a really short teaser uh, on Super Bowl Sunday. But it is my belief that there is still a good chance we get something on Super Bowl Sunday. Also, Bumblebee has got a an 80 Rotten Tomato score from audiences. Um, Last I had checked. Going to lose you in the train. Yeah, it's all right, Rob. I'm thinking about wrapping this up. I really wanted to just get on here and review Bumblebee and talk about the fact that they had greenlit a sequel, which we don't know any real specifics about yet. That just that they had greenlit it and that it had made 420 million worldwide, and that's really all I really wanted to talk about today. So, you know what? Since everybody's at work, I'm going to cut this, and I appreciate all y'all showing up. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Join the Road Squadron. Peace. I'm out. Till next